Extra, extra, Scorpio. This is all about you. This is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. All right, guys. Let's get into this reading. This is not a horoscope. This is an energy reading. So it's for Scorpio sun, moon, rising, wherever Scorpio energy impacts your natal chart or influences your life. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. Pull up a chair. There's always an extended reading, which is a full tarot card spread that goes into details and susses out specifics, more personal version of the energies we pick up on here. And that's in the link below. Please do join me for that. We're going to start with your crowning energy, which is the energy that is basically the theme impacting all other energies, and then your central energy, which is the primary challenges, and then last but not least is your grounding energy, which is essentially what's holding you down and seeing you through, basically helping you out. Let's get into this, Scorpio. Okay. Everything seems a little scattered, seems like it's coming out all at once, but then it ends up organizing itself. Crowning energy. Okay. Let's get into this. Crowning energy is a rebirth is assured. So, what does this mean exactly? This is something that seems to have been lost that's coming back. This is something that seems to have been dead that is coming back to life. This is very scorpionic energy. It's also a sense of, look at the cocoon shape. This is a sense of when something is in a cocoon, it basically pulls itself apart. It basically is destroyed, and then it comes back together in a new form. So his bat wing is out. So he's about to spread his wings. He's ready to fly. He's ready to come out of the dark, maybe even into the night, but still he's ready to come out of a slumber and go searching for what he needs. So this is an energy of transformation and regeneration. It's 100% you. So you're really feeling yourself. You're really feeling who you are. You're really feeling and understanding the highest sense of what Scorpio energy is, which is to transform and be able to come back from the worst case scenario and rebuild yourself from that state of degeneration and hurt and pain and suffering. Now, this could very well mean that you are dealing with a situation or a circumstance in your life that has like come back from the dead. All of a sudden it's risen. It's come back again. Whether that's love or romance or job opportunity. This is a general reading, so it could be any of those things, but ultimately I think the rest of the cards will play out. The ultimate overarching theme is you guys is something that you thought was gone and lost, maybe even a part of you that is not. It's transformed. And maybe even this idea of recognizing that it actually has just been transformed. It hasn't been lost. And finally discovering it or finding it in something else, right? It's almost like when you looked at the butterfly. If you looked at a butterfly, would you recognize the caterpillar? Or would you still mourn the caterpillar? Because the caterpillar in the form that you identified it as is completely lost. And in a way, you're right. It is lost, but it is not completely lost, right? There are the higher aspects of itself that have manifested and now become the butterfly. So it's almost like not mourning what is lost, but celebrating what has become. Okay. So we have your central energy. Tend to the small things, something that's been building up over time, something that has been bothering you, but at the same time, maybe you've been sweeping it under the carpet, or it's been hiding in the walls and you've been ignoring it. Little by little, these are like little creepers, like little infestation is what it is. A sense of tend to those small things because they build up and become big things. So this is a sense of something has been building over time, and now it's become too large to ignore. Be generous of spirit, confidence. Okay. Maybe that's what it is. A sense of your confidence itself having been built over time. And now being strong and strong enough, let's say, Scorpio, to look into the future. A sense of something has been building over time, and now you're able to look away from it or see that it's not what runs you, controls you. But I really feel like there's more of a connection, because you ever heard of the mouse and the lion? A sense of sometimes the mouse can intimidate the lion. And it's because the lion forgets who the lion is. Or because a lot of times we have so much confidence that it turns into arrogance, and we overlook the small things that we think shouldn't have mattered or don't matter to us. We're above them, we're bigger, because it's a fable is what it is. It's like the lion's too big for the mouse. It doesn't have to be concerned with the mouse, but it really does have to be concerned with the mouse. And it's those things that sneak in underneath, those little tiny things that are actually those hidden dangers of, because we ignore them. We ignore them over time. So this, with this resurrected, with this energy of resurrection, it's almost like there's an issue that has resurrected itself from the past, an issue or a person that has come back from the past, and it's never been talked about. It's always been pushed under the carpet, but now it's here. It's here, and it's really causing problems for you. And the reason why it's causing problems is because it's been allowed to roam free, being unchecked, because it was considered unimportant. I honestly feel like deep down inside, this is a conversation with somebody that you need to have. This is a building tension between you and somebody else, that you want this person in your life. For some reason, you've decided you want this person in your life. And maybe this is a pattern with people in your life in general. You decide that you want them in your life because of what they represent to you, but you don't really know them. And over time, those little bits and pieces of them that you start to know, you realize are just not for you. They're just not, that you just don't agree with them, or they just don't, the two of you, like, that you don't mesh as well as you think you did, but your confidence, maybe even your arrogance, or vice versa, has been ignoring all of those little things that say there's a problem here, there's an infestation here. We've either got to do something about it, or we've got to move out of this house. So this is a sense of looking away from the infestation, trying to pretend that it doesn't exist, trying to pretend that the problems don't exist. And I feel like this falls right in line with a lot of the energy that I've been getting for you for the past couple of weeks, which hasn't been the most popular energy, right? But at the same time, it's like, what have you been ignoring? What have you been trying to push away because of your confidence? Because, no, I want this, so this is how it's going to be. And basically enabling or making excuses for all that crap that's building up that you don't want to confront. Let's look at it. Be here now. See, this is an interesting person. I love this because the lion is doing what you think is the right thing, right? The lion is looking at the beauty of the moment. The lion this is Libra energy. This is Leo and Libra energy. Has confidence in the present time. Has confidence in the beauty, but it's marvelized. It's looking, these are both small things, right? The mouse is a small thing, but it's infectious and it's pestilence. And the hummingbird is a small thing too, but it's beauty. It's that unseen beauty in the world. So this beautiful perspective of you guys, because the Leo is representing the self, which it does, the sense of self, and the sense of believing in yourself and believing in what you believe in, right? that heart space, believing what's in your heart. So you see something, you see the beauty in it because you see it in your heart. You see it from your heart. You're seeing the beauty in something because you're looking with your heart and you believe in it. You believe in it, and that's what you're looking at. But you're also ignoring those parts of it that are infectious and dangerous and that continue to build and build and build and build and build. You know, hummingbirds don't have the reputation of mice. Mice have the reputation of where you see one, there's 400 in the walls. So you know what I'm saying? And they just keep multiplying until wires get eaten, poop starts falling into your water supply. All of those things become a real big issue when your house is riddled with mice. But there is this thing of this beautiful mentality of you focusing on the beauty, you focusing on what's beautiful about the situation, but you're also ignoring but in order to focus on the beauty of the situation, you're ignoring what's wrong with the situation. And the truth is this: if you have a truly balanced situation, you are looking at both. Right? And it's essential to look at both to have a truly balanced situation. I don't think right now you want to look at the balanced situation. I think you want to focus on that Libran energy of it's just beauty, all the beauty of it, and what's perfect about it or what's right about it. And those are important things, 100%, but you can't ignore the pestilence because that is going to lead to harm in the future. Hold on. Be at home. Be here right now. So this has to do with, this is Cancerian energy, okay, now I understand. Because Gemini energy, Gemini is still in retrograde in Cancer. Let me say this right now. There is something that you thought was dead that is coming back. You can't ignore it. You can't. And it has to do with something in the domestic realm. So this situation that you're in has to do with your husband, your wife, your children, your house itself. It has to do with that home, fourth house, those fourth house aspects. So you're talking about a situation that has come back up. In other words, that was not dealt with. Your focus was always the beauty of the home, the happiness of the home, making the home serene and secure, keeping things on the positive, looking at the positive, and yet here are all these mice built up in the walls. Is it about the house that you live in? It could be the house that you live in has issues, things are failing. Things are breaking. There's faults all over the house and you don't really understand why, but ultimately underneath you know why. You know that it's because there have been little hints around the house of, oh, this light didn't work, and then all of a sudden it did. The garage door goes up sometimes, and it started out just doing it once a week and now it's doing it every day. There's an electrical issue in the walls and you don't want to face it because you have a beautiful house. You have a beautiful house. You don't want to face it because it means you might have to gut that beautiful house and there's now this big expensive job because, to fix all that electrical stuff is a big expensive job. So Scorpio, this is the sense of, do you want a healthy house or do you want a beautiful house? And if you want both, understand that you can have both, but you have to get rid of what's causing the issues. And I feel like with you guys, it's even more so about those human relationships, those personal relationships between you and somebody else where there has been, it's not that you don't love the person. And it's not that the love isn't meant to be strong or be long-term, because Cancerian love is long-term, right? But that also doesn't mean that you just don't address the issues and you let them continue to be building. So you're living in a rodent-infested house. And the house is a representation of your soul. Something is building inside of you. Something it has been building for quite some time and you don't like it, but you've been deciding to focus on the positive instead of the negative, and that's such bullshit. It really is. But it's also bullshit to just focus on the negative too. Of course, you have to focus on them both. You have to focus on the balance between the two, because that's what Libran energy really means, is the beauty is in the balance. The hummingbird is balanced. The vibrations are balanced. It's able to control itself through a sense of vibrational balance. That's That's what it is. So there's this sense of building, and trying to build balance over time, but there is still something that you're ignoring. You know, it could be a problem with a friend, it could be a problem with your spouse, it could be one of their problems. There's something that's building and you're trying to find the balance, but and you've been trying to find the balance for a long time, Scorpio, but this is the reason why you're not really hitting the nail on the head and hitting the mark, is because you know the real issue, but that's the issue that you're intentionally looking away from. And you're just looking at the stuff that's easy for you to digest. And then we have moon energy, Piscean energy. So this is definitely, you may be dealing with a Pisces, but this is also definitely dealing with your psyche and your intuition and knowing deep down inside, that knowing, that unspoken truth, that truth that hasn't completely fully come out. Maybe you're just waiting and watching, you wanting to understand things completely. I don't think that's true. I think that you already understand things completely. But the bottom line is, you haven't completely confronted it. So there's still stuff that is hidden and underneath the surface and is going to come out. Take the lead. This is true realization. This is truth. This is the message from the ether. You know, the antlers are receiving those messages from the ether. There's that sense of understanding, taking the lead, having to do this yourself, having to be the one that outs the secret, having to be the one that starts the conversation, because you have access to the truth that is still underneath the surface. So this has to, it's almost you having to be the one that confronts what's been building and then bring a gentle touch. So in other words, this is love. This is somebody that you love, that you're dealing with, that you need to confront. Could be about their addictions. Could be about something between the two of you that's been bothering you inside, but you haven't been able to, you've been trying to pretend it doesn't matter because you love the relationship, but it does matter because it's still bothering you. So this is a sense of, you have to breach this. Now is the time. This is Virgo energy, so it's also represented. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. Once again, there's a sense of there's a sense of, because Mercury is still in retrograde in Cancer, there's a sense of speaking empathically, trying to commune in a gentle way, being like imply or infer or to demonstrate and show emotion as opposed to say things out loud. So that's still right now, currently, your MO. But it's not going to work forever. It's not going to work forever. And now we have your grounding energy, which transformation is beautiful. So this is seeing the butterfly in the like seeing how the caterpillar is not completely dead, because this new situation that came from it is alive because of it. Like, this is its new form. So in other words, settling on allowing people to change, allowing their relationship to change, and not being afraid that just because it changes, it's not going to exist anymore. It's going to exist on a different level. It's going to exist in a different form, but it's going to still exist. And that's very beautiful. Time to heal. Whatever has been twisting your gut, hurting you, or burning you from the inside has to be released. That venom has to be released. Those toxins have to be released so they don't kill you. This is also the seed of creation. This could have something to do with your child, a child, or that sexual energy that is the root, that sacral energy that is the root of creation. You are definitely creating something. You know, you are definitely creating, but it's more metaphysical in that you're creating something brand new. You're creating maybe even not just a new you, but I really feel like there's this circumstance. Trust in divine detours is your third grounding energy. So a sense of believe that even when you turn that corner, your life is still going to be beautiful. That you don't have to ignore the corner or delay the car or stop the car or hold the car back. It's still going to be beautiful. It's going to change. Your direction is going to change. But you might still have all the same people in the car with you. There's this fear that just because something is changing, that suddenly all of a sudden it's dead, it's gone, and you're never going to see it again. You could be dealing with the loss of a loved one. somebody who has passed into the spirit world and having a very difficult time because all you can think of is they're never going to be here, they're never here, but they are here. They just transformed in a different way. And you have that beautiful ability to connect with them spiritually, connect with them in the spiritual world. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you have been commuting with somebody who you have lost. That sense of connecting with them through the sky, through the earth, through animal totems, through dreams. This sense of them coming back to tell you that everything is going to be okay. This is a new direction for you, but it's the direction you're meant to be in. It's going to be as beautiful as this Main Street tree-lined beautiful road that you've been traveling on. The beauty is in the adventure. Part of the beauty is in the change, in the shift. There's also a sense, even if you're not dealing with somebody who has passed, this relationship that you're trying to hold on to is meant to become something else. It's meant to go on to the next stage. And holding on to the stage that it has, just because of the fear that it's going to be gone forever, is actually part of the toxin. It's the real toxin, is being afraid of letting this person in your life change and go off on their own, or the real toxin of letting this relationship change and take on a new direction. Because there's beauty in that change, and of all signs, you know that because you are that transformation between life and death. So there's just this sense of, don't be afraid of that change, Scorpio. This relationship, this person in your life that you're trying to hold back, hold on to, protect, maybe even lock away, that's actually suffocating it. Remember, if the butterfly never emerges from the cocoon, that's the real death, isn't it? That's the real death. That's something went terribly wrong and it can't change, and change is the only way that something can continue to live. So instead of being afraid of the dismantling and the wreckage, embrace it and allow it to change. Allow that 17-year-old kid who wants to go in a different direction and move out of the house or go to a college across country, allow them to. Stop discouraging something from changing and blossoming, because what you do when you do that is you hold it back and you suffocate it. Now, you could be doing this, and for a large part of you, I think it is almost like that devouring parent mentality of like holding on to something, thinking that you're protecting it, when really you're not protecting it. You're protecting you from the fear of it changing. So that's got to stop. That's got to stop, because what it's doing is actually killing that thing. And this thing is going to emerge. This person has to change. This situation has to change. This home has to change. This relationship has to change. The only way for it to live is for it to transform. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Let's continue in the tarot card readings. I'm going to just show you the full tarot card spread. We'll get into details and specifics about this situation. And I'll also do your full romance reading as well. So I'll see you in the extended, Scorpio.